sacrificing time for this shit. Man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago, they ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool, I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace, I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend, we should try again. You should hop in, I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl, you know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I hit the bay, you know I think of you. Working on your brand, love, you know that I
And we are live in the liquor store. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy, Henny the Moore, reporting live from the liquor store. How's everybody doing, man? And hey, I see you already in here, man. Talk about I'm back. Holla boy Kennels, I see you, man. Thanks for tapping in and showing love to the channel. Everybody out there sliding in on this Sunday morning. We can have communion together. We can't get too sloppy drunk on the Sabbath, but we can have a good time in the liquor store. And hey, we got a lot of issues to discuss today, man. We all seen the preseason finale yesterday. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about Trey. We'll talk about who should make the roster. We'll talk about, plans, but now that Deron Bland is going to miss about 2 months. We'll go in depth on all of that. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, man, this is my boy JJ the Mime in the building, man. A long time no see, bro. I thought they done kidnapped you over there or something, man. David tapping in, man. Hey, we miss you in the chat box too, man. It's good to see you, bro. Real talk. Hey, my boy King G in the building, man. He said, damn, we in here early. Listen, we gonna be live multiple times today. I'm doing a solo show right now, and then I'm gonna do a joint show with Landlord about noon. So, y'all tap in, keep your notifications turned on. We're gonna be in the liquor store today, man. We're gonna rock out. We're gonna be a good time. But yeah, we live early, man. We gotta get to it. But before we do get to it, make sure y'all run those likes up on the page, man. The more likes that you get on these videos and on these platforms, the more of those same platforms will promote the content, push it out to the masses. So if you want the liquor store to grow, prosper, we continue to do these interviews and go to places that we go, hit the like button, man. It's the easiest way to support your independent content creators, and it ain't gonna cost you a dime to help us shine, man. So please hit that like button if you can't do anything else. Also, we believe in manifestation, right? We believe in manifestation inside of the liquor store. So you want the Dallas Cowboys to win title number 6, right, in 2024, I'm gonna need you to share the content 6 times and to drop 6 emojis, man. We trying to run it up. We need all the good positive energy in the world in favor of the Dallas Cowboys, man. Oh, it's 434 Cowboys said, chat, my other account got hacked. Damn, bro. Well, hopefully, man, they ain't getting no important information, nothing like that, man. Well, at least you got a backup account, man. But it's good to see you in here, bro. So, yeah, hit those likes, hit those shares. And most importantly, man, hit those Eagles fans, man. I need y'all to slap the shit out of an Eagles fan. If you're able to find one, lay your palms across their face and slap the shit out their mouth, because, they be flying around eating raw horse shit off the ground. That's what they do. I will give you half off on all the merchandise inside the liquor store. And, we got exactly what you need to succeed over here, man. We got Calvaritas, we got gin, we got hen, and everything else under the sun that can make you sin. So tap in with your boy, Henny the Moore, and come get drunk in the liquor store. Also, we ain't too proud to beg on this fine Sunday. If you want to help pay your tithes and offerings to the liquor store to help keep the doors open, right? You can hit the Cash App at the left hand bottom of the screen, $ Henny the Moore. You can hit the super chat. You can hit the super stickers. You can become a member, right? And my members, I will start dropping more exclusive content just for y'all, right? I know there's only a handful of y'all, but y'all deserve some exclusive content for being members. So, I'm going to give you some early access to some stuff, some member-only content. They're going to be coming your way for all the members. So, if you want to support, hit the Cash App, hit the Super Chat, hit those memberships. we gonna rock out in the liquor store, man. And again, I appreciate y'all in advance. You know, the Lord put that on your heart. But without further ado, no more tally around. Let's go ahead and jump into the content head first. Cause dog, we seen some shit yesterday. Like we seen some shit. And before I even talk about Trey Lance, I just want to preface this. Yo, what's up with you, Todd Lockhart? I see you. Swain, I see you. DNP Nation, I see you. Said, do I got the depth chart? No, but we're gonna make our own. We're gonna make our own in the liquor store today after we talk about this backup quarterback war. So I want to just say this before I put up any graphics. Me leaning towards Cooper Rush or me leaning towards Trey Lance means absolutely nothing. Because if either one of those players has to play a prolonged period of time for the Dallas Cowboys, you will not reach the plateau that you were trying to climb. The Dallas Cowboys' goal every season, you know, to a majority of this crazed fan base is to win a Super Bowl. Trey Lance ain't finna win you no Super Bowl. Cooper Rush ain't finna win you no Super Bowl. So it's really a mute point talking about two guys that you don't want to see play any damn way. But we're gonna talk about it. So let's lean right into it, man. Trey Lance. Oh shit. All right, so let me pull this up, man. This is Trey. So, according to Ed Werder, across the last 30 seasons, Cowboys quarterback Trey Lance is just the second quarterback, right? And that's 30 seasons. 30 preseasons, I should say. But that's a large ass sample size. 30 years, that's a large sample size, bro. He is just the second quarterback to go out there and to throw 5 interceptions. Now, Glenn Foley threw 6 of them things back in 2000 for the Arizona Cardinals, right? And this information they got from ESPN Stats and Info. But on the positive tip, Trey Lance was also the first player to throw for 500 yards and rush for 150 yards in a preseason since 2017. So this is the thing. Trey Lance has athletic ability. Trey Lance is 6'4". Trey Lance got a big arm. Trey Lance can move very well. He did have a 46-yard rushing touchdown. The problem is Trey Lance also fumbled the ball twice. Like, they got the fumbles back, so it doesn't count as a turnover. But he put the ball on the ground with no contact 2 times just because he had bad ball handling. Pause. That sounded awful. Bad ball handling sounds atrocious. Shit. But he did not handle the ball well twice. He also threw 5 picks. One of them wasn't his fault. I'm not gonna hold you. Like the wide receiver got bitched out, and they literally took one out of his hand. But he also had 2 interceptions that were dropped. So there was like 6 possible interceptions out there that would have been on Trey Lance had the receivers had the cornerbacks and DBs and defensive backs had better hands, right? And I think my brother landlord said this best when we talk about Trey Lance. Trey Lance is the epitome of a roller coaster at this point in his development. He is the epitome of a roller coaster at this point of his development. The swings between glorious highs and jaw-dropping lows don't just happen, you know, on a series-to-series basis or anything. Like my brother landlord said, like, it was so profound I had to take it. But, you know, I ain't no thief. I give my boy his credit. Like, he's the first person said this. It's like a play, you know, it's like a play-by-play basis where Trey Lance is up and down. He'll make a great throw. Then he'll throw the ball, you know, 4 feet over his intended player's head. He'll make a great run, and then he'll run backwards into a sack, right? He'll give you the 46-yard rushing touchdown, and at the same token, he'll give you 7 turnover-worthy plays, right? This is who Trey Lance is at this point in time. And if you're a team that needs consistency, and honestly, with being 1,000% honest, consistency at the quarterback position, a lot of times it's better than the flashes. Because if you're consistently average, and I can get that consistent average play from you, I can game plan for everything else. I know I can win games with this run game and this and that, right? But if I know that you consistently don't turn the ball over, if I know you consistently will make the right football play, I can win with you more times than not. The issue with the high upside flashy guys is when the flash is there, it's cool. But when the lows are that low, when you got a game, and listen, I would understand if Trey Lance was playing the 49ers and he had 7 turnover-worthy plays, or he had 5 interceptions, right? I would understand if he was playing the 49ers, who are one of the best defenses in the National Football League. Right? They pay everybody on there. They got the best linebacker. They got one of the best corners, one of the best safeties, some of the best defensive linemen. I would understand that. Trey Lance threw a pick 6 to a backup defensive end. I don't even know if this man is going to be in the NFL next week. But Trey Lance might have saved his job, throwing him that pick 6, not seeing that 6'7" man fall back into coverage. So I'm just saying what I'm saying. I'm talking about what I'm talking about. Like, you cannot make those kind of mistakes as a veteran quarterback. And that's the other talking point that I want to get out there. We keep talking about Trey Lance as if he is a rookie, as if he has never, been around an NFL team. This is all new to him. And Trey Lance is a fourth year veteran quarterback. Trey Lance, if he was Dak Prescott or a Carson Wentz or any of these other quarterbacks that came in and performed over the course of the first couple of years of their contract, Trey Lance would be in the negotiation stage of getting a huge extension if he actually had performed and lived up to his hype at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where he's at right now. And the NFL has made it so much easier for quarterbacks to come in and transition from college to the NFL that when you don't get it, it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. Troy Dudley, y'all always say with 0 playing time, why did Trey Lance not get playing time? Answer that question. Cause you don't forget, like y'all bring up, he never played. He don't get playing time. Do you know why Trey Lance does not get playing time? Because either A, he has gotten injured, or B, he got beat out. Right? Now, 1, availability is the best ability. If you cannot stay healthy enough to get on the football field, that is a you problem, and the NFL does not give a damn. There have been better players than Trey Lance whose careers have been derailed by injury. 2, he had opportunities to win the quarterback jobs in San Francisco, right? They gave him opportunities. And guess what? When he was healthy enough to play, he was not good enough to beat out the other quarterbacks. That's why he is here being traded away for a 4th-round pick. Yes, he was hurt, but he also got beaten out. There were we ain't gonna act like that, like he was just there for 2 seasons. We ain't gonna act like he was just there. If you cannot beat out Sam Darnold for a backup job, you know what I'm saying? That is telling. If you cannot, and listen, He hasn't beaten out Cooper Rush while he's been here. So why are we acting, like Trey Lance was did wrong? The only thing that failed Trey Lance is in his development is his body. His body has failed him. Not being able to stay on the field and take those snaps, and not being able to beat out your peers when you're in an open quarterback competition. It just is what it is. So I understand folks love to throw it out, and don't worry, I got a graphic for that. Because listen, Trey Lance hasn't played a lot of football. Nobody is denying that Trey Lance hasn't played a lot of football. But the why behind him not playing football is also important, right? So, as this gentleman pointed out, Trey Lance has thrown 518 passes since middle school, 97 attempts in high school, 318 attempts in college, and 102 total attempts in the NFL. He's younger than Michael Penix, Bo Nix, and Will Levis. He said let him throw 550 passes for a 4-13 team for 1 year. And honestly, I agree with this. Because let me ask y'all, for all the people that said Trey Lance hasn't played, when the hell is Trey Lance going to play for you? When the hell is Trey Lance going to play for you to get these snaps to develop? The man is on a 1-year deal. Are you going to sign him back, bring Trey Lance back into the fold, and let him continue to sit? Or you don't give a damn about the next season? Do you not care about next season? You're just going to throw Trey Lance out there and hopefully get the 4-13, hopefully get the 5-12, hopefully get to 6-11, hopefully get to 7-10. You're going to throw a season away for Trey Lance to develop and waste a year of CeeDee Lamb's prime, waste a year of Jake Ferguson prime, who's going to be looking for a contract himself, waste a year of Tyler Smith, who's also going to be looking for a contract. Like, what are we going to do with Trey Lance? Are you trying to win now, or are you trying to develop a quarterback is the question. Because you can't do both. Are you trying to win now, throw all your eggs into one basket, and pray that it pans out, or are you trying to develop a quarterback? You can't do both at the same time. You can't do both at the same time. So you got to pick a poison. Are you going to develop Trey Lance, or are you going to go all in and try and make a push in the playoffs? Are you going to try to get to the playoffs and make a push when you get there? All right, so Troy Dudley, I'm going to ask you a question. If you keep Trey Lance, when is he going to play to develop? When? That's an honest, that's not a pointed question. That's not a backhanded question. That is an honest, I want to know. Tell me, when is Trey Lance going to play to develop? While you're out here trying to win Super Bowls. So who? When? When is he going to play? That's all I want to know. Because if you have a developmental plan in place for Trey Lance, for him to get snaps and reps while the Dallas Cowboys win games and try and get to the Super Bowl, because that's what we all want, because we're tired of this purgatory and shit. Right, we just now got our defensive line figured out. Right, I'm excited for the defensive line now that we done went and got Phillips and, went and got Joseph and all this other stuff. Like, I'm actually excited for the defensive line at this moment in time. And I would not have said that 2 weeks ago. Even with the Deron Bland injury, I believe we might be able to keep our heads above water until he gets back, because he ain't going to be gone the whole year. So we got pieces in place to make a run. We know we got enough to get to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? He said, when will CD get signed? Bro, he should have been signed. It should have already happened. They're saying it might happen over the course of the weekend, but shit, Who knows? Dallas Cowboys do goofy stuff day in and day out, so I don't know, bro. I honestly don't know. But with as much shit as I'm talking about Trey Lance, he's gonna make the team. And I want you to read the tea leaves, in the words of Boss Cowboy. I want y'all to put all this shit together and just think about it from this perspective. The NFL rule for the emergency quarterback situation states this: the emergency third quarterback must be on the club's 53-player roster. So Trey Lance, in order to be the emergency quarterback and not take up a roster spot on game day, actually has to be on the initial 53-man roster. The same goes for Cooper Rush, right? So even if Cooper Rush, let's say the wildest thing happens and they decide that Trey Lance should be quarterback 2. Right? Let's say they decide that Trey Lance should be quarterback 2. Cooper Rush still has to make the team to be on the 53-man roster so he can be the emergency quarterback. So you can get that flexibility on game day to have an open spot for another position. So all 3 quarterbacks were always going to make the final 53-man roster. We knew Dak wasn't going nowhere. And because of the way the emergency quarterback rule works, all 3 quarterbacks are pretty much penciled in. So there's really, if there was 4 quarterbacks, there would actually have been a competition for the emergency quarterback spot. But since we only had 3, right, all 3 of them are locked to make the team. Because if you're going to have a third emergency quarterback and get the benefits of that, they got to be on the roster. So with that being said, I believe we should go ahead and make Troy. When is this going to happen? My brother, I understand what you're saying. When are you going to put Trey Lance with the ones? The ones don't play in preseason. That's not what they do in Dallas. When is Trey Lance going to get these reps that you're talking about, Troy? That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking anything else. When are these snaps and these reps coming? But while we discuss this, let's go ahead and make our own 53-man roster and who we believe is going to make it on the team. Okay, Troy. Again, when is he going to get these reps? He's not even quarterback 2. He got to have both quarterbacks go down to even get those reps. What are the odds of Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush getting hurt? So again, Troy, we're talking about developing Trey Lance. Getting Trey Lance on the field to take reps. Getting Trey Lance on the field to do anything positive. When is that going to happen? So, on the low percentile chance that Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush gets hurt, that's when you see Trey Lance. Outside of that, is he only going to play in preseason the next 2 or 3 years? He's going to have a year worth. He's going to have a year worth of time in between meaningful gaps, in between meaningful snaps. I mean, that's why I'm saying you can't do both. Troy, has that happened since Dak Prescott's rookie year? And even at that point, when Dak Prescott played in preseason, he looked good. So I don't even think it's an apple. I think it's an apple to oranges comparison, because you have to go back almost a decade from the last time that happened to the Dallas Cowboys. But let's continue though, man. Let's chop it up. So let's go ahead and make our own 53-man roster inside the liquor store. We'll start with the quarterbacks because we already read the rule on how that works. So Dak Prescott, you can pencil in as quarterback 1. Cooper Rush, quarterback 2. Trey Lance after last night, that quarterback 3. So those are your 3 quarterbacks, right? I don't think there's a fuss or anything. I don't think that's controversial. We know the rules. Hold on. Matter of fact, y'all can't even see what I screen shared it because I got this big ass whatchamacallit up. That's my bad. That's my apologies right there. I was finna be talking to y'all the whole time. Y'all not even able to see the screen. Also, shout out to my brother in the building, man. I see my boy B Bird. Hold on. My boy said breakfast with HTM. Cool. Man, yeah, we rocking the liquor store, man. We Gucci. Yeah, we rocking out this morning, man. You go see a lot of the liquor store this morning, man. Like I said, we opening up early, taking a break, coming back with landlord about noon. All Gucci. He said turn the mic up. It's on 100, so I'm not really sure what's going on with it. I might just need to turn the background music down a little bit. I might just have to bring the background music down just a tad bit. But yeah, the microphone is up on 100, so if it's a little low, it's my apologies, but this is about as high as it's gonna go, kinfolk. But I'll talk louder. You know, I'm country anyway. I be trying to use my inside voice most times, but I'll talk a little louder. That's what it take, bro. So let's continue. So we already got King G so damn funny. He said Dak not making the team. Oh, Jesus. All right. So quick question. Does anybody disagree with the quarterback list? Like, these are our 3 quarterbacks. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. So hold on. Okay. So let's go to running backs. So for terms of running backs, all you got to do is follow who the hell they done set. Ezekiel Elliott did not take a single snap in preseason because he's a veteran. So Ezekiel Elliott, running back 1, I guess. Now listen, when I put 1, 2, or whatever for the running backs, it doesn't really matter because it's going to be a running back by committee. I'm just going to use this to list them. Running back 2, Rico Dow. Running back 3, Deuce Vaughn. And this is just my personal opinion. Some people would say Malik Davis. Some people would say Royce Freeman. I've been very impressed with Deuce Vaughn in training in preseason. I've been very impressed with Deuce Vaughn in preseason. Now, the real question for the Dallas Cowboys, are they going to carry 4 running backs and a fullback, or are they going to carry 3 running backs and Hunter Lukey be the 4th running back that also doubles as the fullback? That's the real question I want answered. Because I know Hunter Lukey is penciled in. Hunter Lukey ain't even played it. You know what I'm saying? So Hunter Lukey. So in my opinion, it should be Ezekiel Elliott, Rico Dow, Deuce Vaughn, and Hunter Lukey. So my question to y'all. I know it's crazy. I know little legs. I know it's little legs. I know it's just little legs, man, but hell. He said, is Deuce number 2? I think Rico is number 2 based on the decisions that they made by not playing Rico Dow in the finale. I don't even think they played Rico Dow in the second preseason game. I could be mistaken. I could be completely mistaken. So, and when you think about Deuce, you also get the ability to play Deuce, you know, to play Deuce in the special teams game. Because he could be a returner, you know, punt returner, kick returner, give you some flexibility. Especially with the new kickoff rules. Like, I'm pretty sure there will be some some things ball handling wise. I hate even saying that shit. Do you know how trifling that sounds? Ball handling. But anyway, there's some things you can do special teams now with the way that they got it set up to where you can probably pull off a reverse a little bit easier. You could probably, pull off, a misdirection a little bit easier now that, nobody is moving until the ball is fielded. You know what I mean? So it gives you options to get a little tricky back there. So having another guy with some elusiveness back there, I think the Dallas Cowboys let Deuce make it on the team. I don't think they're gonna cut. I don't think they'll cut Cavante Turpin because one, they've already treated Cavante Turpin as a starter. Cavante Turpin did not play in preseason because his job has already been secured. If you did not play in preseason, there is a reason. Like they're not gonna play you in preseason if they know that you've already got a job title secured. And with the CeeDee Lamb stuff going on, they're not cutting any wide receivers. Any wide receiver that they can use or to score touchdowns for them, they're not removing them from the roster. Besides, Cavante Turpin is a free agent next year. Jerry Jones is going to do everything in his power to get the most out of him on the to get the most out of that contract he's paying him. Y'all so crazy. But yeah, man, so those are going to be my four. Now, if somebody want to push back and say, hey, man, give me Malik Davis over Deuce, that's honestly an open conversation I can hear out. If somebody want to push back and say, hey, man, I want Royce Freeman over Deuce, like, that's fine. I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the third running back, bro. If you feel more excited about what you've seen from one of those other guys, I'm not mad at you. But, just in my personal opinion, I think Deuce gets the other running back spot. Shout out to my boy B Bird for the $5 super chat, man. He said, HTM, what you think about us resting players when all the other teams played their starting quarterbacks like Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, and many others? Kind of soft in my opinion. The Dallas Cowboys lost their golden child in Tony Romo. You know what I'm saying? They lost their golden child in Tony Romo in the preseason game. And they have tried very, very, very hard not to have anything like that happen ever again. They've tried everything in their power to never have a marquee player get injured in preseason. So, I get it. The best player in the National Football League plays in the preseason in Patrick Mahomes. But Patrick Mahomes, I don't think has ever had any kind of injury history. Dak Prescott, on the other hand, has missed a season worth of games due to injury. Dak Prescott has missed 17 games due to injury. So I think more so they're trying to protect Dak Prescott. And, you know what I'm saying? And when you have inexperienced offensive linemen and, out there, you don't want your quarterback behind that. You don't really, especially leading every year until this year, you had somebody like a Tyron Smith who you didn't even want to play in preseason. You had to keep him safe and secure and wrapped up in tape and bubble wrap and shit. So you ain't going to have your starting offensive lineman out there. You damn sure don't want to put your starting quarterback out there. Well, Bland got hurt in practice. There was some contact. So he didn't play in the actual game, but, he was playing football when he got injured. It wasn't against an opposing team. But you're right. Injuries can happen anywhere, anytime. But you also will try to mitigate injuries when you can. There's this thing called risk reward in life. Sometimes the risk that you take is not worth the reward that you receive in return. You could take a risk, that puts your entire life in jeopardy, and the reward is like $100 or some shit like that. Like, that don't weigh out. Nobody will risk their life for $100. And I think that's the same thing with playing your marquee starters in a preseason game. Like, that's sort of the reason why the NFL has joint practices, just in case you don't want to take that risk. So, it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. I'm not sure what's right. I'm not sure what's wrong. It is what it is. Well, let's move along. So I got 3 quarterbacks. I got 4 running backs. Let's move to wide receiver. Let's go ahead and move to wide receiver, man. And this one should be straightforward too. I'm not even gonna play like I don't know who my wide receivers are. CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, Cavante Turpin, Jalen Brooks. We're going 6 deep, man. Give me Flournoy. Give me Ryan Flournoy, man. I've seen a lot out of a bunch of other dudes, but Flournoy has been consistently good throughout preseason. He is not nobody that you want to cut and play those waiver games with. He's out there scoring touchdowns. He out there making contested catches. He looking very explosive. These are my 6 wide receivers. CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, Cavante Turpin, Jalen Brooks, and Ryan Flournoy. And my boy said put Brooks at 6. Listen, if you're at the back end of this thing, man, I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, I like Cropper too, but Cropper didn't do anything in the preseason games. Like, he didn't do anything in the preseason games. You cannot say that you want to, you can't say that you want to reward players for playing good in the preseason and then throw out what's done in the preseason, when your favorite player doesn't work out. I like Cropper, but Cropper fumbled the bag literally, like my boy JBB boy talking about. Like, he literally fumbled his bag. Hey, Billy made it and survived on the practice squad all last year because nobody was checking for him. So you could put him on the practice squad. You could put Jalen Cropper on the practice squad. You could put Racing McMath on the practice squad. You know what I'm saying? You could put guys on the practice squad, and folks probably won't even touch them. They probably won't even look their way. You know what I'm saying? So there are guys that you could put on the practice squad, and they will be there. And there are guys that if you cut, won't even make it back to your practice squad. Ryan Flournoy is a guy that if you cut, he is not making it back to your practice squad. He flashed entirely too much. He has athleticism. He has good. Man, I want to just say this. Like, they have made everything that you say now in this generation so suspect. I can't even really talk about football. I can't even talk about football. You know what I'm saying? I can't even talk about football. Because every time I got to bring up balls or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying, then... And, hey, Troy, I can't say that they're better than Cavante Turpin when Cavante Turpin scored 4 touchdowns for me last year as a wide receiver and a weapon. Like, when everybody else bitched up against the 49ers, Cavante Turpin went out there and caught a bomb. You know what I'm saying? Cavante Turpin put in work. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think Cavante Turpin had more total touchdowns than Michael Gallup did last year. He had more total touchdowns than Michael Gallup did last year, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that you give him more opportunities to be on the field. And the thing is, if Dak Prescott trusts you, why get rid of him? Or the quarterbacks who played last night, Trey Lance, if he gets work with his feet, where he can be a starter in the NFL. It's gonna take time. Nobody's gonna deny that Trey Lance has athletic ability and upside, but the amount of time to cultivate that into something tangible on the field for a prolonged period of time, I don't know if the Dallas Cowboys are really ready to make that investment. It's just like adopting a child or getting married. Like, that's a big investment. The amount of time it's going to take to marry Trey Lance for a prolonged period of time till you get a return on your investment. But these are my wide receivers right here, man. This is my personal opinion at wide receiver. All right, now let's do tight end, and then we'll do tight end, then we'll do O-line, and this is gonna be very quick and quicker to the point. Jake Ferguson. I'm gonna put an asterisk right here. Luke Schoonmaker. And you know why I put an asterisk right there? Politics got him this spot. And then John Stevens. Even though I think John Stevens hurt his stock a little bit, the explosive plays and catches were still there. But listen, I'm not saying that Luke Schoonmaker is better than John Stevens. I'm not even saying that I don't think we probably could, find a better tight end than Luke. But they invested a second-round pick. They invested a second-round pick in Luke Schoonmaker, and they're not trying to give up on him just yet. They are not trying to give up on Luke Schoonmaker at all, bro. I mean, the fumble, like he had a fumble that got. That's the thing. He had a big play over the middle, good catch over the middle, and he fumbled that motherfucker. Listen, Stevens hurt his stock a little bit. He did. But he's somebody that I'm willing to work with as a. Listen, I remember that John Stevens got hurt last year. But if he's back, and you got to remember, guys who are on the roster bubble cannot wait. The NFL is unforgiving. The NFL is cutthroat. The NFL is monstrous. If you are not ready to play, they will chew you up, spit you out, give your job to the next guy, and then you're going to be a podcaster like Henny DeMore. You're going to be a podcaster like Henny DeMore. So, like, if you're not able to play, or you're not able to go, the NFL normally does not wait for you, especially when they ain't got much invested in you. John Stevens, if I'm not mistaken, was either a late round pick or an undrafted free agent. I forget which one, right? So with shit like that, the man, the man is killing. And listen, if you're asking me who I think is better, it's John Stevens. If you're asking me who I think they're going to anoint to be tight end number 2 is Luke Schoonmaker. Because it never was really an open competition. They wanted John Stevens. Thank you. It was UDFA. I appreciate that. Because remember that was a year ago. Like I still have all this other stuff in my mind from this last draft. So thank y'all for verifying that for me. Yeah, like John Stevens was just supposed to be competing to make it on the roster. In their minds, they were never going to actually have the tight end number 2 position open for competition. So, it is what it is. But I think him making the team and being healthy and viable, for later in the season is way more important than anything. I think that's very important for us, bro. All right, so those are my 3 tight ends. Span forward just didn't do anything. And that's the thing. I take into account everything that's happened. I take into account the guys that play well in training camp, the guys that play well in preseason. When you talk about guys on the back end of the roster, like Span Ford did absolutely nothing to increase his stock in the tight end room. He did absolutely nothing to increase his stock in the tight end room, bro. So I get it. I like him too. But he didn't play good in the preseason. He didn't really make too many plays. Hey, Joe. Yes, I believe we keep all 3 quarterbacks. Now, if you're just now checking in and didn't get my explanation, let me show y'all this real quick. The emergency third quarterback must be on the club's 53-player roster. The player cannot be elevated practice squad player. The club's starting quarterback and his backup quarterback must also be on the club's 53-player roster. All 3 quarterbacks got to make it on. NFL rules. They want. The NFL really doesn't want a repeat of what happened with the Eagles and the 49ers. They want you to have 3 quarterbacks on your active roster at all times. They want you to have 3 quarterbacks on the active roster at all times. Oh, you don't have to ever apologize, Joe, because you might not be the only person that didn't hear this. So it's always good to reiterate information. So there's no need to ever apologize, my brother. We just talk about what we talk about, my guy. Y'all always good to ask questions. So you got any questions y'all want to ask Henny, Henny will answer. Yeah, y'all folks know y'all good, man. I rock with y'all. And for the people, all right, and I'm going to do that too, my boy. Let me pull that up real quick. And this is also for the people who are just now coming in who missed the quarterback room. So this is HTM Sports 53-man roster. We got Dak Prescott, Cooper Rush, and Trey Lance as the quarterbacks. We got Ezekiel Elliott, Rico Dowd, Deuce Vaughn, and Hunter Lukey at running back. We got the wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, Cavante Turpin, Jalen Brooks, and Ryan Flournoy as your 6 wide receivers. We're going 3 deep at tight end with Jake Ferguson, the political prisoner, Luke Schoonmaker. Then we got John Stevens. And you're all caught up if you heard all that. You're all caught up if you heard all that. And when he's saying matchup football with the tight ends, Jake Ferguson is a vertical threat, so it's hard for traditional linebackers to keep up with him. Also, you have to remember that John Stevens is a converted wide receiver. So the reason that he gets open so easily, and the reason that he's able to do the things that he do, is because he's been a wide receiver most of the time. So I think when he says play matchup football with the tight ends, I believe that what he's speaking on. I can't speak for him, but when you hear matchup football, that's generally what people are talking about. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to offensive linemen. Let's go ahead and move on to offensive linemen, man. My only question is how many offensive linemen will the Dallas Cowboys carry? Because we know our starters. The question will be how deep did they go in offensive line? So let's just start. Tyler Guyton, starting left tackle. Tyler Smith, starting left guard. Cooper Beebe, starting center. Zach Martin, starting right guard. Terrence Steele, starting right tackle. So, question. Who should be the backup swing tackle? I think we realistically have to go with Awesome Richards at this point because Thomas is hurt. Chuma Edoga is hurt. Matt Waletzko shouldn't make the team. I think it has to be Awesome Richards. Like at this point in time right now, I think it has to be Awesome Richards. What do y'all think? Because I'm trying to see. Because TJ Bass should get on there too. And Brock Hoffman. And that should be enough backups for the backups. Because Awesome needs to be a swing tackle so he can be a backup for Tyler Guyton and Terrence Steele. TJ Bass has flexibility to play both guard spots. And then Brock Hoffman will be the backup center. So everybody has a backup at this point. Everybody has a backup at this point. Said Bass and Hoffman for sure. Said watch Josh Ball makes it somehow. Listen, as much as I love Josh Ball slander, he hasn't had a bad training camp or preseason. Hey, what's up, JC? Yeah, man, because we gonna do it like this. We gonna do the normal view, and then on the playback, when we run it back, we can just run it vertically. So if people prefer the normal view, they can have it in the normal view way to do it. If people prefer the vertical, they can have it. He said, what about Nat Thomas? Nat Thomas is exceptional, but Nat Thomas is injured. Nat Thomas is injured. So Nat Thomas is going to have to be on IR or injured reserve or something because he's hurt. Like you know that you haven't seen Nat Thomas at all. I don't think Nat Thomas played in the preseason, bro. I don't think my guy played in the preseason. It said Brock, he and Cooper made Brock sit down after that game with the. I saw that, bro. Yeah, Cooper Beebe did his thing. So yeah, I think Nat Thomas actually is going to end up on the, on IR. So unfortunately, I think he has a lot of upside. I like his talent, his athletic ability. But I honestly believe that young man is going to have to start on IR because I think he's hurt. And and that's the thing because I don't want to go 10 deep at offensive linemen. I need guys that can play multiple positions as a backup. So somebody like Austin Richards is the backup tackle, period. In my opinion. I think he has to be like I think for tackle you need to be a swing tackle if you're a backup. You need to be comfortable enough at left and right to make the roster as a backup tackle, in my personal opinion. Because it gives the Dallas Cowboys a lot more flexibility at other spots. Right? Just like TJ Bass, you'll feel decent about putting him at left guard or right guard. Right? Because he's done both at this point. He played a lot of left guard in college. He's played some right guard in the NFL. So any guard spot that you put TJ Bass in, you'll feel comfortable doing so. Right? So Austin Richards would be the same way. I think Austin Richards would have to play left and right tackle, in my humble opinion. Because I'm not trying to carry 10, 11 offensive linemen, honestly. And listen, by trade, he might be a left side player. Most guys are one thing predominantly. But that still hasn't stopped the Dallas Cowboys from playing them there. You know what I'm saying? We've seen left side guys move to right. We got a guy, we got a right side guy all his life starting a left tackle for us right now. So man, and listen, if he's not going to be able to do that, and we have to ink out one more damn tackle, who would it be? Chumi Doga's hurt. Who is going to be the backup right tackle then if you don't think that Austin Richards can play swing? If you don't think that Austin could be a swing, then who would be your right tackle then? Your backup right tackle. Put it in the chat box. Give me an idea. Ew. Ugh. That's nasty work. My nigga said, well, let's go. Well, let's go on his bad shoulders. Hell no, dog.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
I'm tired of carrying 45 offensive linemen, bro. So if we carry all them damn offensive linemen, what are we going to go short at? We going to go short at defensive back with all the injuries we got? That's a good point. So that is a good point. My boy said right tackle might be on another roster. You never know. All right, let me check something. I'm going to add one more. I don't want to go 10. But because you brought this to my attention that they might not be able to get away with playing Austin Richards, playing Austin Richards at right tackle. You know what's crazy, dog? If I had to choose between Josh Ball and bad shoulder Waletzko, based off this training camp and preseason, I surprisingly would have to shoot Josh Ball sorry ass. Like, that's some crazy. I never thought the day would come I would say some shit like that. Fuck. Y'all niggas really finna make me put Josh Ball name down this motherfucker. Because honestly, dog, I don't think there's any particular player that's healthy enough to play right tackle for the Dallas Cowboys that could. Because I don't think Waletzko even played well to keep his roster spot. So I'm not gonna put Waletzko down because I don't think he's gonna make the team, if we're being honest. Fuck. I'm gonna put this nigga's name in small letters. Josh Ball. Just so y'all Nope. Josh Ball. And we'll never speak on this again. So there you go, man. That's 9 offensive linemen. We'll figure out everything else later, but we don't really have any other guys healthy. You know, I think they were thinking about using Chuma as a swing tackle. At least that's what I heard. But because of his injury, I don't think that would be the case anymore. He said, put that nigga. He said, was Shipley any good? Let me see. I don't even remember seeing Shipley out there, honestly. I don't believe so. But, you know, that'll be a fair question. I have to go back and review. I ain't gonna say yay or nay to dismiss him or anything that he possibly could have done because I'm not sure. Because believe me, I was not out there checking for Shipley during these preseason games. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, fuck it. So we got pretty much this is our offense. Cause we got our quarterbacks, or running backs, or wide receivers, or tight ends, or offensive linemen. So let's start our defense, man. Let's start at cornerbacks. Trayvon Diggs. 2, DaRon Bland, but start him on IR to free a roster spot. So I'm a carry an extra defensive back because I would put DaRon Bland on IR the moment he has his surgery. That buys me 5 weeks to figure everything out. That buys me 5 weeks. That gives me a little bit of flexibility elsewhere. It buys me time. Putting DaRon Bland on IR buys me time. So Trayvon Diggs, DaRon Bland, but put him on IR. He's going to have a roster spot when he comes back, but we're going to start DaRon Bland on IR so we can carry one more defensive back that we normally would, or, you know, carry another roster spot. So we'll create some flexibility there. So let's do that. Put Bland on IR. Jordan Lewis is your slot. Seatbelt. Carson is the 4. Izzy, friend of the show, Mukwamu, is your 5. So question. Because like I said, I'm going to carry one more cornerback. I'm going to carry one more cornerback than I normally would. So my next question to y'all. Would it be Andrew Booth or would it be Kamon Hall? Who are y'all going with, Kamon Hall or Andrew Booth? I'm asking y'all. Y'all said Booth. I got a soft spot for Kamon Hall because Kamon Hall had a pick 6. He played well when he was actually on the field. And he didn't get a chance to even defend his roster spot because he was hurt. Oh, damn. Fuck Eric Scott. They like Eric Scott, though. Damn, bro. So, I tell you what. Bro. And listen, I think Julius Woods should make the team too. So I'm gonna go ahead and warn you now. Like when I make this safety list, I'm going to put Julius Woods on there. Just so you know. Just so you know. I'm going to put Julius Woods on there. But that's a great talking point you brought up, Swain, about Izzy getting moved over. And the Dallas Cowboys are sort of nefarious. Remember, Kamon Hall all of a sudden came down with an injury. They could put Kamon Hall and DaRon Bland on IR. Because they could blow it up like Kamon Hall had a bigger injury than he actually had. And they could try to stash him on the IR instead of trying to stash him on the practice squad. So that's another roster move Dallas Cowboys could make now that is coming out that Kamon Hall, quote unquote, has an injury that prevented him from suiting up last night. So, that's a possibility there that Kamon Hall could be a stash. Because you start to run Bland and Izzy the run Bland and Hall on IR, then you could easily keep Eric Scott, who I think they still have some form of faith in. I'm just going to put Eric Scott on here, bro. You know what? I'm gonna do this. So, I'm going to just put these two guys as being on IR. We just gonna do it like that, bro. All right, let's get to the safety room, bro. Listen, who do you think they like more? A guy that they traded up to draft or a random dude that they traded for because they had pity for Nation Wright? Who do you think they like more? Let's keep it a thou wow. Who do you think the Dallas Cowboys like more? The dude that they traded assets to move up and get, or the guy that got thrown in the Nation Wright trade? Because they want to listen. From what I'm hearing from my other content creators, they just wanted to do right. They just wanted to do right by Nation Wright and get that trade done. They knew that Nation wasn't going to make the roster. So they sent him somewhere where Minnesota wanted Nation Wright. So they sent Nation Wright over there. I'm not sure they completely sold on Andrew Booth like that. So listen, I'm not saying that I even want these guys at the back end of my roster to play. Like these guys up here, Trayvon, Bland, Lewis, Seatbelt, and Izzy. That's about as deep as I want to go. That's about as deep as I want to go in my cornerback room any damn way. Anybody else on here is either just depth or they like them or they show the flash here and there. I'm not saying that these guys are Deion Sanders, bro. That's not what I'm trying to insinuate here. But I am saying if you put DaRon Bland and Kamon Hall on IR, you can carry all these other defensive backs. All right, safety. Let's get to safety, dog. Malik Hooker. Donovan Wilson. What's my boy name? Marquise Bell. Wanye. and then I'm going Julius Woods. So I'm gonna keep 5 safeties. I'm gonna run Eric Scott as out there, as Eric Scott and Izzy out there. And listen, like you said, moving Izzy to the cornerback room, as he's been doing this entire time, you know, saves the Dallas Cowboys another roster spot. And now we need to talk about defensive line, dog. We skipped the defensive line completely. We went straight to the secondary. We started talking about this defense. He said, "Bro, Henny tight fast as fuck." Oh man, took the computer classes back in the day, man. Listen, I mean, hey man, it be like that sometimes. It's a good problem to have at the back of your roster, to have talent that you care about getting cut. You got talent that you care about getting cut. So that's a great problem to have if you're the Dallas Cowboys, bro. Man, the Raiders ain't letting go of Jack Jones, bro. The Raiders gonna keep Jack Jones. Now, if Jack Jones does get released or they want to trade Jack Jones to us, I would love that. But I don't believe that they're going to give up Jack Jones. Now, you know something that I don't know, let me know. Because I would love to have a Jack Jones on this team. I'll cut all them niggas for Jack Jones. All right, let's start at edge, defensive end edge. We got the Lion. We got the Marcus Lawrence. It's Marshawn Nealon. Alright, so Marshawn Nealon. That boy Muhammad, I don't even know his full name. And then we got Chauncey Golston. They say Chauncey Golston is moving back. Is moving back to defensive end. So we got Micah, D-Law, Nealon, Muhammad, and Chauncey Golston. Oh, wait. Carl Lawson. I forgot about Carl Lawson. And this is in no particular order that I'm putting these defensive ends in. So don't trip. I just named them as I thought of them. Because if we're talking about, I would put Carl Lawson up here as like the third or fourth defensive end. And then, I would put Muhammad at the end of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Carl Lawson as a pure pass rusher. As a pure pass rusher, I think he's up there on the team. Like he's top 3 as a pure pass rusher. Oh, Muhammad making the team. Did you not see how good Muhammad played? And you got to think, we don't have that many defensive ends as it is. Like we don't have no kind of defensive ends. So, yeah, I think it's going to be Micah. You also got to think Micah Parsons is going to be splitting time on edge and playing linebacker because he's going to want him to mug the A gap in his defensive packages. So there's going to be opportunities to have Micah Parsons. Listen, Muhammad was flashing, dog. Muhammad was everywhere. Go back and watch it. And I know, because I went back and I watched the condensed version of the game on NFL Plus. like 2 more times after it went off. I'm just waiting for the all 22 film footage from there to drop. He looked real solid, bro. He looked real solid. So you gotta think, Micah Parsons, there will be times where Micah Parsons will be rushing from the A gap while 2 of these other guys will be on the defensive line. So Micah Parsons will be in the A gap sometimes, and then D Law and Carl Lawson will be rushing on the edge. Or Marshawn Nealon and Muhammad Golson will be on the edge, right? Because they can simulate pressures, in a multitude of ways with those double A gap looks. You don't really know if Micah is going to drop the coverage out of nowhere. You don't know if Micah going to come and actually be y'all tweaking in the chat, but I'm just damn typing. Y'all gotta stop with this shit, man. He said Booth gonna end up somewhere, get a playoff ending pick on Dak. We gotta keep, bro, for real. No, he will not. He gonna give up a playoff ending touchdown to Dak Prescott, cause that man be getting beat deep. Like, come on, man. The man let Simi Fehoko moss him. He turned Simi Fehoko into Chris Carter. For that one play, Simi Fehoko was Chris Carter. Made no sense. But I like Booth, man. I say it's a good problem to have when it comes to these cornerbacks at the end of the roster. Cause we're up here scrutinizing and looking at the most minute details of how they play, because they all had flashes, and that's a good thing to have, especially when you're going to be down one of your primary players for a nice chunk of the season. When you're going to be down an All-Pro player that long, man, Henny going to be the new talk to type AI. Y'all tweaking, man. Y'all niggas got to be stopped. They said drop Booth off by a phone booth and let him call for a ride. Man. Y'all you killing me, man. Oh shit. So we got our edges. We got our edges. So let's go ahead and take a look at some linebackers real quick, bro. You said I typed with a YSL trial. Oh shit. All right, linebackers, bro. Let's do linebackers, man. Let's do linebackers. So linebackers, man. Let's start. I be trying to remember everybody. So Eric Kendricks, you paid him. He's a veteran. He's going to be your green dot guy this year. Overshown. I guess Damone Clark. And this is in no particular order. Lou Fowl. Do you think they keep Buddy Johnson? OG Bobby Johnson, cousin Buddy Johnson? Real question. Do you think they go 5 deep at linebacker, knowing that Micah rotates in at going to rotate in situationally as linebacker? Damn, dawg. Forgot about Harvey. Shit. Because Lou Fowl is... We gonna put an asterisk there. I'm gonna do a split because I don't know. I don't know which one they're gonna do. So I'm just gonna split. Cause I don't know which way they gonna swing. I'm gonna leave that one open. So I think they do go 5 deep. Who they like over Buddy Johnson or Willie Harvey, I don't know. There were people reporting. I believe it was Nick Harris. I think Nick Harris reported that Buddy Johnson was going to make the team. Not to be surprised if he made the team, that they really like him and what he does, yada yada. Damian Wilson. I think Damian Wilson is going to be on the practice squad like he was last year. Because Damian Wilson wasn't on the active roster. We up here adding, hey, how many players do we have on the roster already? So let's see. Let's count this shit up real quick. Let me go back to the top and count this shit up. All right, so let me start doing the math. So remember, it's a 53-man roster. We been added 60 niggas. So 3 quarterbacks. We got 3 quarterbacks. I said 4 running backs. 6 wide receivers. So we're at 13 players so far. 3 tight ends. That gets you to 16. 9 offensive linemen gets you to 20 to 25. 5 defensive backs because the IRs don't count. So you're at 30 guys right now. All right, 5 safeties get you to 35. Plus 6 edge rushers gets you to 41. 5 linebackers only gets you to 46. Hold on. Yeah. So you got room. Damn, hold on. Because we still got to count our kicker, our long snapper, and our punter. We got too many people. Because we haven't did our defensive tackle room yet. We're gonna at least be 4 deep there. We're gonna be at least 4 deep there. Fuck, hold on. So let me add a special teams in real quick. All right. So that would get us to like 49 people. I'm gonna add the defensive tackles that need to make the team. No particular order. Linval Joseph, Mozzie Smith, Osa, and Phillips. And now we're like over the limit by like 1 or some shit like that. I gotta go back and count again. All right, it might be right at 53 though. It might be right at 53. I think we lucked out and got right at 53. Yeah, but they got to be on the initial 53-man roster. So when you're doing the initial 53-man roster, the quarterback rule doesn't help you. It just helps you on game day. Yeah, uncount Trey, bro. So, yeah, man. Unless they go thin at linebacker, knowing that Michael Parsons is going to play more linebacker. Unless you count Michael Parsons as your fifth linebacker and Buddy Johnson and Willie Harvey don't make it. But I wouldn't do that. But I think we got just enough. I think we got just enough. Yeah, I think we got right at 53. We went through the rules. Mercy quarterback does count against the 53. They just don't count against the 53 on game day. The Mercy quarterback got to be on the initial 53-man roster. Got to be on the 53-man roster. Cannot be elevated from the practice squad. Nor can the backup quarterback. You only get to waive that roster spot on game day. So, yeah, I don't know. All right, you good, kinfolk. But, yeah, we right at 53, though, man. So, we got the 53. And listen, does anybody have super concerns about the 53 that I put together? Because listen, it's not like we're disagreeing about starters. We're really just disagreeing about guys at the back of our roster. Really just guys at the back of our roster that we're disagreeing on. He said Donald Malik. He said us Booth fans. What's up with you, Mr. Deacon? I just now seen you in here. Thank you for tapping in and showing love. Listen, we'll figure it out, man. I'm not really too sure about who should. And yeah, you just now, that's a good thought, King G. If you just now sliding in and don't know who I put on the 53-man roster, let's go through it. 3 quarterbacks to stay in accordance to the new NFL rule, so you can get the flexibility for the free roster spot on game day. They got to make the initial 53. So Dak, Coop, Trey, all 3 of your quarterbacks. Then I got Zeke, Rico, Deuce, and Hunter. Wide receivers, we went 6 deep. CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, Kavontae Turpin, Jalen Brooks, and Ryan Flournoy. Tight end, we went 3 deep. Jake Ferg, Luke Schoon, John Stevens. Tyler Guyton, this offensive lineman. Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Zach Martin, Terrence Steele, Austin Richards, TJ Bass, Brock Hoffman. Josh Ball in very small letters. I don't know how this nigga made it, but I think he'll make it. Then cornerbacks, we're going to have 5 healthy. Trayvon Diggs, Jordan Lewis, Seatbelt, Izzy, and Eric Scott. Deron Bland and Kamon Hall, I expect to start the year on IR. Safety, I got Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson, Marquise Bell, Wanye Thomas, and Julius Woods. Edge, Michael Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, Marshawn Nealon, Carl Lawson, Chauncey Golson, and Muhammad. Linebackers, Eric Kendricks, DeMarvion Overshawn, Damone Clark, Maurice Luafau, and Buddy Johnson or Willie Harvey. Not sure which one. Defensive tackle, I believe they just go 4 deep. Linval Joseph, Maji Smith, Osa, Phillips. If they need help, they'll elevate from the practice squad. Your special teamers, Brian Anger, Trent Sieg, Brandon Butter, Aubrey. Those are the 53 guys that I believe will make the roster. What's up with your action? Thank you for tapping in. Tyrone Church, what's good with y'all, man? Hey, everybody just now sliding in, please hit that like button. Please hit that share button. You know, please slap that Eagles fan upside the head. I know Miss Adika said she ain't going to beat nobody up unless they try her first. So I'm going to exclude you from this. Said, do I think we good with just 5 defensive tackles? Don't know. That's the scary part about it. Because I have no earthly idea. I have no earthly idea who all is going to be on the initial 53. This is who I think's going to make it. I've been wrong before. As we all, but, I've been wrong before. And you know what? I love our depth. I love having Huggins. I love just having Justin Rogers back there. So I would like to have more defensive tackles, but there's only so many areas and rooms you can go short in. I already went short at tight end. CeeDee Lamb's holding out, so I believe they'll go 6 deep at wide receiver. So who will start opposite side of Diggs? From the way that Jerry Jones is talking, it will be Seatbelt Carson. It will be Seatbelt. Because Jerry Jones said we don't need no help at defensive tackle. I'm not saying that you should believe him. I'm just saying that's what he said. So, it is what it is on that front. But Jerry Jones doesn't believe the Dallas Cowboys even need defensive tackle help. Defensive back help. I would disagree with him. Wholeheartedly, I would disagree with him. But, it is what it is. He's the owner, so what that bullshit he said is going to have to be how it rocks out, man. But I thank y'all for chopping up with me this morning, man. I appreciate y'all for everything that you done, rocking out with me, helping me get through this 53-man roster, talking about this preseason game and all the things that transpired and happened. Remember, I will be live later on with my brother Landlord from Alabama. Said scroll to your running backs real quick. Oh, I got you. Hold on. I'm gonna show you the running backs and everything before we get out of here. Let me scroll back up. I got Zeke, Rico, Deuce, and Hunter. In order to have, a little bit more versatility. Because honestly, we don't play that many running backs anyway. Seatbelt, listen. Seatbelt gonna be his name because it sound cool. And if he go out there and get brutalized, Seatbelt will be his name because they locked him up. They had him held down. So he can either earn that name in a positive way or he can earn that name in a negative way. But we finna see how that name transpires when he goes out there. That shit is funny. That's a nice nickname to have. Call a man Seatbelt. Either he getting fastened down or he fastening somebody else down, man. Listen, I got Little Legs on there, man. I ain't hating Little Legs out. He's done enough to get a second opportunity in preseason. I wouldn't mind doing that, man. I wouldn't mind doing that to get Xavier Howard in here. Veteran president, former All-Pro. You know, playing under a good defensive coordinator with other good defensive players. I wouldn't mind that at all. It makes too much sense, though, so I don't think Dallas Cowboys would do it. They like doing shit their way, even if it's the hard way. But we'll see, bro. But yeah, I'm a leave. I'll be back later on with my brother, Landlord from Alabama. You know, we'll be doing a show together, same kind of view. And then, you know, if you may happen to like these streams vertically, when we replay them later on in the day, they'll be vertical. It'll be the same show, and you can watch it back vertically if you want to. But I'm going to do a live show with Landlord, and then the 2 shows I did in the normal format, they'll re-air later on the page vertically if you like it like that. But yeah, man, thank y'all for everything. On the way out, please hit that like button. Please slap that Eagles fan upside the head. Please hit that share button. Please hit that Cash App or that Super Chat, because we're not too proud to beg in the liquor store to continue to support your independent content creators. And hey, I will holler at y'all in a couple hours, man. Peace, God bless, and the boy is out.
Thinking about changing locations and shit. Man, into this motherfucking bag. Stand on the way I made. Sacrificing time for this shit. Man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago. They ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool. I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace. I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend. We should try again. You've been on my mind. You should hop in. I ain't gonna hurt you, baby girl. You know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now